Hello friends and welcome to Heart Home. I kind of regret naming my island Heart Home, but you know what? I am learning to embrace that by basically making my island a place with all the things that I adore. So when you get off the airport, there's honestly not much to my entrance. There's just a couple of street lamps. There's this crescent moon chair and this crescent moon tree and these like starry things that I placed in the front just because I really like star stuff. And we immediately go into what I like to think of as the city. I tried to make it as urban as possible, emulate a lot of New York, London vibes because those are definitely my favorite cities. To the left, we have our store, so this is what I like to think of as Main Street. To the left of Able Sisters is this little fashion area where I put a sewing machine and some other things so I can like embrace the inner fashionista. And there's also some dining tables and some chairs. Now, if I go down here, we go into my beachside cafe or brunch area. I really wanted to have a space where villagers can sit and relax and just enjoy themselves. And yeah, I really wanted a bakery and a cafe on my island. So obviously, here we are. But first, let's get changed. Clearly, I have a face mask for obvious reasons. So, welcome to the Heart Home Cafe and Bakery. I really wanted to have bakery or bread because obviously I love bread. It's not a cafe without some coffee. Some coffee, some tea. Over here is some toast, as well as more coffee, cakes, creamers, all that jazz. So here you can sit, enjoy some coffee, listen to some music, and enjoy yourself. But yeah, I'm very happy, very pleased with this cafe. To the back would be the kitchen, and then to the left would be the bathroom. Back into the city we go. If you keep moving on this street, you'll see some houses. So I placed some of my villagers here because I feel like some of my villagers feel more city-like than others. This is Marina's house, and over here is Meringue's house, and here is Raymond's house. If you go on the beaches over here, I also made another area that was heavily inspired by Little Woman, one of my favorite movies of this year. And this is a scene from the movie, which is when Jo is on the beach reading to her sister. It's kind of sad, but then it also is kind of dreamy. So I wanted to recreate this scene from the movie. Wanted it to be really peaceful. And there's also a swinging bench just because I thought it would be a nice addition and it's cute. And then there's also a painting set because I love seeing and painting the sunset or the sunrise in this case. And this could also be like Amy's spot where she's sitting. And yeah, this is my Little Women beach. Definitely one of my favorite parts of the island. Okay, moving on back into the city. Now, if we go up here, this would be like my second street, or the second big street I have. And this is Marshall's house. And then if you go over here, go into what I like to think of as Central Park, or this is the Central Park Mall. This area was heavily inspired by New York and New York Central Park Mall. And if you keep walking through the mall, you will reach Bethesda Fountain, which is also one of my favorite places in New York City. It's such a beauty. Next to the park would be the museum. So we have the Met Museum over here with its iconic steps where we feel like Gossip Girl. Now, if you go to the right of this, we enter like a little orchestra, or there's this show going on. I really wanted it to be classical because it reminds me of like a ballet or a theater. And obviously it's not New York without a pizza place, so here is a little pizza place. I say pizza place, but really there's only one table, but you know what? That makes sense because New York restaurants and stores are so small, so it's fine. If you keep going, you go through the back, go past this bridge, we enter what I like to think of as Union Square Market. New York, I believe it's Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Union Square has a farmer's market and they have a bunch of booths popping up with like little things. So it's like shaved ice, cotton candy, goods, and some juice, more coffee, all these things. I wanted it to resemble Union Square as best as possible because Union Square is honestly one of my favorite places in the city. Now, if we come here, this is my Chinese restaurant. I feel like it would not be home if I did not have a Chinese restaurant because obviously. So this is where I would take your order, or I would find where you want to sit, how many people are in your party. And this is where we eat. Yum! Look at it. There's so much good food on this table. Yeah. There's dim sum. You can eat with your friends, rice. All the good things. Definitely one of my favorite places on the island just because it really feels like home. Alrighty. Okay. Okay, moving on with this tour. We go up these stairs, and this is my orchard. This is actually probably the very first area that I started working on because I had so many trees when I first started. Pretty standard. I think there's not much to it. I just organized all the trees, their fruit, and that's about it. It's a little sitting area where you can eat some fruits when you're done picking your fruits. If we keep walking through this bridge, we'll enter my other marketplace. I kind of wanted this one to be more urban and look kind of like the ones you would see in Japan or like an alleyway in Asia, and I'm thinking of the ones that I went to in Shanghai. So this is like a Shanghai alleyway. Most of these were saved for my old DIYs, but since some of my friends came to visit recently, there's not much on the shelves, but this was like my DIY bridge in a sense. Now, if we keep walking through here, we enter my campsite. This is originally where my house was, but now it's my campsite. I saved this area for my campsite because the island, or this little island, is shaped like a heart. And so when I get new villagers or new people visit, I want them to feel at home on their heart-shaped home. In terms of decoration, there's not much. These logs where you can sit on to, sing with your friends or do whatever. Over to the right is grilling area, typical campsite stuff. After we cross this bridge, we leave the city and we go into dreamy, cottagey, nature-like landscapes. So here we have 3 pathways into 3 different directions. Let's go down first. This is like my little fortune-telling area because I love astrology and I thought it would be cute. And here's a little bench where you can see the view. You walk down to this area, we enter my Shelly beach. I don't know, my beachy area. I wanted this area to be really for my villagers in a way. Like, look at Dom, he's so happy running around, but I wanted them to have an area where they can like sit down on the beach and relax, especially since it's summer. Some coconuts in the back and a tea set and just all these things for them to enjoy themselves and chill. Now, if we go up, this is what I like to call the gated community or the residential area. I wanted to put all my villagers together so they could interact with their neighbors more. This is Bella's house. Ooh, wait, look at Sucker. He's wearing the orange hat I gave him. Okay, yeah. This is Sucker's house. And over here is Marcy's house. There you go. And that's the first street. The second street is Portia's house. And then it's Dom's house. And last but certainly not least is Diana's house. So I wanted to put them all together just so they could have like a little community area, but then also mostly just to save space. I kind of feel bad because they're all squished together and they don't have any accessories, but I kind of had to do it if I wanted to have all the things on my island, and I really wanted it because their backyard is my favorite part of this whole island, which is the flower garden. So I spent a huge amount of time on this flower garden, but it was definitely worth it. There are some watering cans up front, so friends come to visit. If their watering can breaks, they can take the watering can. And hyacinth lamp, obviously. And let's get right into this garden. This rainbow flower garden is heavily inspired by the YouTuber Charmaine. She's one of my favorites and her island is so beautiful, and honestly what inspired me to up my island and improve it, decorate it to the island of my dreams. So shout out to Charmaine, would highly recommend watching her video. Moving on, if we go through here, we enter my movie theater, which is one of my favorite parts of the island. Right now we are watching Gone with the Wind. Obviously there's a box of tissues because I'm always crying during movies. Continuing on, over here is kind of like my wishing well, or what I would like to think of as my wishing well. But this is when my island gets really, really whimsical. There's not much to this walkway. It's just, I tried to make it pretty. Yeah. Now, we're gonna bounce over back to here and continue on with the tour. Now, if I walk through this main street, it kind of gets whimsical, as you can see. Everything is white and dreamy. I wanted it to kind of look like London, so much of this part of my island is inspired by London, hence the white telephone booths. But yeah, and then if you cross over to this side of the island, this is like my diagonal bridge where you can see the waterfalls in the background, and you also know that you enter into like a more foresty type of vibe, which is why you have the big contrast between the white items and the black items on the other side. So if you enter, this is like my forest, I suppose. Here is my reading nook, which is probably one of my favorite areas to sit and relax. Obviously I had to have a reading nook because I love reading so much. So this is a secret garden reading nook that I want to hide away. You want to escape from the city and you go into the forest, and yeah, I have a tiny library, some bookshelves, books, stacks of books, some candles, all the things that make you feel cozy and at home. And I don't know if you can see, but in the front over here I have a tiger guarding the area, and then another tiger guarding the area because I'm the year of the tiger and I love tigers. Okay, continuing on, we are back over here. Now, if you continue on the street, this is where I put my mailbox and a couple of packages outside. If you go up, then we enter, this is my house, but we're gonna go back to it later. We enter kind of like a secret garden or a secret bamboo forest. I put a bamboo doll in the front so you know how to get there. Then you cross through these trees, we enter my bamboo garden. So this is kind of like my zen bamboo spa. Wanted it to be very calming. Yeah, very calming. It's also a nice area to be if you want to wish on shooting stars. Now, if you go up, this is my shooting star gallery. I wasn't really sure what to do with this area, but I wanted a stargazing gallery mostly because I love the stars and all of the Celestia so much. You can see the stars and shoot on stars over here, and it's so beautiful. And to the front is a heart-shaped pond. There's really not much to the stargazing area, but it's okay. I might add some more things as I go on. For now, it kind of looks like this. Now, let's jump back over here. So, if you go down here, this is my private beach, or my backyard beach. I wanted another, like, more private stargazing beach, so I built this. It's more for myself, and there's just a bunch of random flowers everywhere. I'm not entirely satisfied with how it looks, but it's okay. It's not awful, so I'm just gonna leave it right now. Last but not least is my house. So this is my house. I have a bunch of flowers up front because I love hyacinths. They're probably my favorite flower. And everything is so beautiful. Place some Lily of the Valleys in the front because they make me really happy. And I wanted to like have a nice, calm, dreamy type of vibe for my house. Let's just go in. This first room is a mixture of contemporary / modern and vintage antique vibes. So over here we have the TV, obviously, because we're watching something and playing Animal Crossing. And over here is kind of like my cozy, vintagey corner because I have a record player and some old books and a rocking chair. and fireplace where I can sit and chill, relax, admire art, all the good things. Let's go to the back room, which is actually my gym or workout room. I have weights, treadmill, bicycle, obviously because I love cycling, and this is like music because we gotta blast music, and a smoothie because you need to refresh yourself after you're done. Boxing, exercise ball, pull-up bar, and a TV just to keep us entertained when we are on the treadmill. I wanted it to be realistic because I exercise a decent amount and I really enjoy working out. So now if we go to this room, this is my kitchen. Here we have one of my favorite cakes, which is carrot cake, and veggie saute is cooking on the stove because I am always eating veggies. Gotta wash your hands to kill COVID. Now over here we have a rice cooker because this is an Asian household, and toast because this is my household, and coffee because, or come on, coffee because coffee. And last but not least, a stand mixer for when I'm making my bread. I feel like it's pretty realistic, and kitchen of my dreams, yes, maybe, yes, big fan. Okay. To my right is my bathroom. I think this is the first room that I actually started to really work on, and so now it kind of looks bland to me. I have my shower and bathtub, and also the sink. I can't believe it's been running. Okay, yeah, the sink and the toilet because it's a bathroom, as well as laundry machine and vanity, closet, and also my outfit for when I finish showering. Okay, moving on, let's go to my room. So my room is probably my favorite room in the entire house. Without the lights on, it looks like this. And this is how I imagine it would be during the nighttime, because I get to see the city view, and the city is so beautiful. I wanted it to resemble my in real life room as much as possible, and I feel like I did a pretty good job. I have books and bookshelf and all these things. Over here is my camera recording a video because I'm always filming and grinding on making digital content. And over here is my desk where I sit and edit the videos. I feel like this is pretty similar to what my actual desk looks like. Over here is my closet and vanity and just like some clothes. I put this sunflower hat here because I actually do have a hat that's pretty similar in real life. And last but not least, my bed. Obviously, there is a stack of books next to my bed because I always have a stack of books that I need to read. But yeah, that's my room. Now, the basement is a work in progress, so I'm not going to be showing you my basement, but there's also literally nothing in it. Okay, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this island tour, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Bye!